Cancer, what is up? How are you? Thanks for tuning in. I am Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive. Oops. And we're doing your weekly reading. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, cross watchers obviously welcome. Energy is fluid, so as long as the message resonates with you, then it is meant for you. All right, let's see what's going on. Cancer, Cancer, highest and best. I do personal readings, so if you want me to look at your specific situation, let me know. Okay, so perseverance. So something has kind of gotten you in a bind, you know. It's like where you got to hunker down and dig deep right now. Not always the most fun energy to start off with. We're wrapping up Mercury retrograde right now. Yeah. So it's kind of like that value, like there's always cycles in life, you know. We can't always dictate when things are going to be good and when they're going to be bad. Life has its own, you know, thoughts about things and what we need to learn and experience. Just make sure that you're not kind of turning a blind eye is what I'm hearing, right? Sometimes we just kind of put our head in the sand because we don't really want to deal with the challenges. And sometimes you do need to take a step back, right? Like we don't have to be hyper vigilant about everything, but at the same time, we want to make sure that, you know, we are kind of being conscious and aware of, you know, just what the learning lessons are. Because if we're not, then they find us again in another cycle, right? So this is a lot about growth, evolution. It's, you know, sorry guys. I mean, it's not the most fun energy, but silver lining, it's almost over. They jump, yeah. It's almost over. High Priestess. This is really being able to kind of tap into your intuition. You know, Cancer is a water sign, very intuitive energy. So it's like, you know, right, is what I'm hearing. Even though like life is life and we can't always prevent everything, at the same time, we can use our intuition to guide us and give us that strength. I feel like, you know, with the sun, it's bringing you that clarity, that understanding of what's going on. I feel like taking some time to reflect is also going to help you like give the situation a little more legitimacy and validation. You know, we don't always understand what's happening when we're in the middle of it, but I feel like as you kind of give yourself a little bit of clarity, this will help you get through this. There's that element, 3 of Pentacles is teamwork. You could be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But what I'm really hearing is like, I almost hear that like there was a disconnect between you and this person or situation. You know, like you guys weren't on the same page, maybe wanted different things. And so you weren't really working together. It does feel like there's a little bit more balance coming into the situation today or for this reading, but I still feel like you kind of have to continue to push through. This reminds me a lot of this energy to not, you know, turn a blind eye, right? Make sure that you are dealing with the problem as it relates to this person. I feel like, you know, they kind of made some, yeah, there's that King and Queen of Wands. So this could be partnership, relationship. It doesn't specifically have to be love. Everyone's situation is going to be different, but the energy will be the same, right? So this really is talking about the need for you guys to work together. I don't specifically feel like this is happening in the present moment. It's not good or bad. It's just what it is. Let's look at you a little bit deeper. So the Star, healing, you know, this has been a rough energy, right? Healing the way that we deal with our emotions, our feelings, the way we communicate. Communication was a huge part of the breakdown in this situation, the lack of communication. You know, there's that Tower energy right there. So definitely the challenge, like the Tower is when life kind of explodes, unfortunately. You know, the rug gets pulled out from underneath us, and it can be a really, really heavy feeling. It's making it really hard, yeah, to find the love, find the balance, and communicate from that space, right? Especially when we feel like someone did us wrong or is not really like working with us, you know. I feel like there was disharmony between you two. You guys weren't on the same page. And so this person took some initiative in a way that you weren't really expecting, you know. And it's made this situation a little bit more difficult and challenging. They're trying to find some level of grounding, but I feel like they're also holding things over you. You know, the King of Wands energy, yes, can be strong and, you know, charismatic and decisive, but he can also be like stubborn and arrogant, and that control, right? Control definitely comes from that fire energy of wanting to kind of have, wanting to have the upper hand, you know, kind of wanting to be able to dictate how the situation moves. They're looking to just completely start fresh. With you, I'm not 100% certain, you know. I feel like maybe they want to maintain the connection on some level, but they're also looking like they have kind of made up their mind and this is the direction that they're going. So you can get on board with it, or, you know, things are going to crumble. You know, this Hangman is really interesting because the Hangman is really about switching our perspective, seeing things from a different angle. But in this deck, it is labeled as the traitor. So you could feel betrayed by this person, them going behind your back, kind of being sneaky about how they handled things. Again, that communication component wasn't happening. And because of that, they just took steps that didn't really involve you, is what I'm hearing. And it's made it really hard to, I don't know, kind of bring harmony and togetherness, right? This Two of Wands energy, where things are too conflicting. You don't know how to kind of like find that happy medium, find that balance. And it's unfortunate because there is a lot of abundance, right, with the world. That's kind of this value of having everything at our disposal, you know, but with that Five of Swords, it's like, I feel like this person's agenda did not involve you, unfortunately, Cancer. Because they're, like I said, here comes that energy of being stubborn, being defiant, not really willing to talk or connect or figure out ways that it benefits both parties or everyone involved. The King of Wands is, you know, kind of the top dog. So he's going to make decisions based on what is in his best interest, and not specifically thinking about, like I said, everyone else involved. And that Five of Swords, you know, it's like wielding his sword, right? Like wielding how he wants things to go, but not really allowing you or whomever else is involved to be in on that information. And so things are kind of just stagnant. And that's where that energy of perseverance comes into play. I feel like, you know, I mean, obviously it is going to wrap up at some point. I feel like you're going to obviously be in this energy at least for the next week. It's growth through pain, through challenge, which, you know, a lot of times that happens during Mercury retrograde. It brings up a lot of stuff that we're not specifically dealing with for us to look at. Yeah. And things are going to change. And I think that it's actually going to make this situation, if you guys aren't going to talk about it, if you aren't going to work it out right now, it feels to me, and that kind of goes back to this energy that we were talking about earlier. If it doesn't get managed and handled, then it is just going to kind of dissipate. You know, there is going to be an ending. And that's really what this Death card talks about. It's coming out with that Nine of Wands energy, which is when we're kind of like on the defense. You know, we're self-protective. We don't really want to hear it. Yeah. And, you know, independence. So, I mean, that's 2 9s, guys. So 9s are, you know, all about like kind of being self-sufficient in the way, especially 9 of Pentacles. That's about, you know, really kind of being a little bit more in tune with yourself, resting on what you have worked for, what you've like grown towards, etc. And I feel like you're protecting it. You know, the 9 of Pentacles is a very luxurious energy because it talks about all the hard work we've put into something has finally paid off. But I do think this is going to switch, you know, the tune of this relationship. Things are changing and adjusting with that 6 of Swords energy. So just keep in mind, I feel like this person isn't really going to, they're not really open to listening is what I'm hearing. I'm so sorry. Sorry, guys, that sucks. Like I said, if you don't get on board with how they want things to be, then there's definitely going to be this energy of ending so you can start a new cycle. And really, that's kind of what I'm seeing with this. Like, everything's teetering right now. And again, like without communication, like, you know, you can't specifically know what someone's thinking and feeling verbatim. You can sense, you can pick things up. And I feel like that's why you're having a really hard time with this, Cancer, because you are intuiting this energy. But it's not specifically comfortable, right? So romance. So this does deal with partnership. But like I said, this can be, you know, even friend, business partner, family member. But I feel like it's kind of like finding that anticipation. So it's like finding that harmony, that romance between you two, right? Yeah, things are changing. You're anticipating, you know that this is going to happen. But I think there's also like a lot of beauty and abundance here. Sometimes we just have to figure out the pathway to get there, right? And so, you know, we kind of have to go back to that guardianship. Okay, so like we kind of have to go back to the roots, like when we first meet someone, you know, what drew us together, what connected us, etc. And that's re-enlivening that romance. Right now, you guys are both kind of self-protecting, guarding your thoughts, your feelings, etc. about how you want this situation to play out. And that actually is going to be what brings things down if that doesn't get worked out. So I'm so sorry, Cancer. I am sending you so much love and blessings with whatever you're going through. Like I said, if you want me to look into your personal situation, I would be honored. Let me know. Reach out. Drop me a line. Yeah, otherwise, guys, I hope this reading helped. Thanks for tuning in. Lots of love and blessings your way.